Okay, so today's tutorial is going to use a product that I love called Fantasy Film. It comes in a lot of different colors and usually in a roll. I've used a good amount of this already. This is like a lemon color. And what it does is when you stamp your image and then heat set it, it gives you a really beautiful shimmery 3D effect. So it's unlike anything else I've ever used, and I just really like it a lot. Now, to use Fantasy Film, you're going to want obviously a detailed image. I'm choosing to use a bold butterfly image from Butterfly Wings. This is a set from Close to My Heart. That was the stamp of the month for March. I'd hoped to use it sooner, but with my surgery and stuff, it just didn't happen. As you can see, that's the butterfly. And you want to have a permanent ink that dries on non-porous surfaces. So I'm using Palette Noir black ink. You could also use black StazOn or whatever other ink you can find that will dry on non-porous surfaces. And then I have it already heated. I have my Heidi Swapp craft iron. This is a great little iron for projects like this, especially since I'm using an acrylic stamp. I wouldn't want to melt it. I don't know that it would if I used it with a regular home clothing iron, but I'm not even going to attempt it. I have heat set acrylic stamps before with this process and never had a problem. The other thing you're going to want is a non-stick craft mat. This is going to allow you to put it on top of the Fantasy Film without melting it directly to your iron. So we're going to get started. It's very simple, not too time consuming, and you're going to really ink up your image with your permanent ink. Now you want to make sure you get good coverage because it'll show up if you don't. Now I always take my first layer, I've cut several pieces, and I place it down on my stamped image, and then I just kind of rub with my finger. And the reason I do this is I want to make sure I don't move it or get it smudged or anything else. There's no bubbles. Now it says you can do 3 to 4 layers. I'm going to do 4. The more you get, the deeper the color and the more puff to the image. So I'm going to then, there's layer 3 and layer 4. Okay, so they're all layered, and I'm then going to put my craft mat down, cover up my ink, set it aside, and then I'm going to iron it. Now I usually go in a circular motion and I keep the iron moving and I hold down the craft mat so that it's not moving around. And you can see it starting to, well, you can't see it probably in the camera, but I can tell it's already melting through the craft mat because I can see some iridescent color pop through. Now the longer you heat set it, the more puff you get. This isn't a very quick process. I mean, it's not done like right now. You still want to keep rubbing and moving. And I haven't had any problem with my filament. Use them obviously too long and don't get it at it. So you're working on the I feel 100% confident that I do it absolutely correct. I just know that this is pretty much the direction set on the back, and this is how I'm going. I think it's fun to show you. It's actually cool, especially flowers. It looks really pretty with flowers as well. Alright. So, once this is done, we're going to cut it out and adhere it to a box, and I think it'll be a really nice, beautiful touch. Alright, let's see how it came out. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now you'll see what it looks like when we cut it out and put it on our box. I hope you give it a try. Okay, so here we have our butterfly. that we just did with our fantasy foam already cut out and ready to go. Now, as you can see, it's kind of a neutral color. It's a pale lemon, but you can't really tell. It looks almost white. So I'm now going to take my Copic markers and I'm going to customize it to the color that I want. Now, I decided that I'm going to start with RV32, and I'm going to just put this into my air gun. It just pops in, just like that. The air gun's really easy to use, and I'm going to use my little tweezers to hold it. Now, I always like to spray, so I kind of figure out, you know, where it's going first. Whoops, I have some sunlight going on and I can't really see. So I'm going to spray. There we go. And I don't care, you know, if my tweezers get colored. So I'm spraying it pink. And I hope you can see that. It has like a pink color to it now. Now I'm going to switch this out and I'm going to go with our darker pink. And this is RV17 Deep Magenta. And I'm going to just pop that one in. Now when you use the air gun, you always want your marker to go in that way. So again, I just kind of spray. There we go. This one should show up nice. And I'm just spraying the outer edges of my butterfly. And that's looking really amazing. I'm sure you can see. It helps too when you have a juicy, you know, marker for coloring. Okay. That looks really cool. Now I think I'm going to get a yellow color and do a little bit in the center. Now I'm going to do Y13, which is a lemon yellow. I'm going to take this one out, put this one in, and since I'm doing the middle, I'm just going to hold it down. Now if I wasn't holding it down, it would just blow away. This is going to give me a really cool look to my butterfly. Make sure I'm doing that. There we go. And for the center, I think I'm just going to actually color it with my marker. And I'm going to use YG23. And I'm just going to color the body that color because that's what I want. Okay, so there you have what was a plain pale butterfly, now a multicolored beautiful butterfly. Now it's time to put it onto a project.